Hello friends, Jay Sennett here. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Jay, my Jazzy Jae kitchen. Hope all of you are doing well. Thank you as always for watching the show. Cooking with Jay airs Sunday evenings at 6 on the WHRO Public Media Facebook page. And if you can't watch the show at 6 o'clock, you can watch it anytime. It stays up on the page, so you just have to scroll down until you find the show. On this edition of Cooking with Jay, I'm going to make a little background on this. My father has some heavy Northern African DNA in his makeup. Right? He was Northern African, Tunisian, Algeria, Moroccan, pinch of Egyptian, and then somebody strayed further north up into Ireland and Scotland to lighten things up a bit, yay, and up to Scandinavia. But about 65% Northern African, my father. And so I was thinking about some of the dishes from Northern Africa. And one of the spices that come out of Northern Africa, specifically Tunisia, something called harissa. Harissa is kind of a red chili paste. It's made in different ways. You can use different spices, but it's usually made with red peppers and another kind of pepper and some garlic, cumin, coriander seed, maybe a few other things in there. But it's usually very spicy, but you can get it mild or medium. Some of the grocery stores sell harissa. And so I decided that I'm gonna pay some tribute with this dish to my father's Northern African heritage, right? And specifically out of Tunisia, I put together this idea for this harissa chicken with lentils. And I'm using 3 different types of lentils. Black lentils, green lentils, and brown lentils, okay? So we're gonna make this lentil, and I have a cup of the lentils in there. I'm gonna turn that on, and then I wanna add 3 cups of chicken broth, right? Just to get the lentils started, right? That's 2 cups. And I wanna add 1 more cup, and then I'll talk about the chicken here in just a moment, okay? All right, so 3 cups of broth to 1 cup of the lentils, and get those boiling. Now, the chicken, I have the chicken marinating in the harissa seasoning, okay? And I added some additional garlic in here, some salt and pepper on the chicken. I took a chicken breast, diced it up in pieces. If you can see that right there, the orangish color of the harissa seasoning. And then put the chicken in a bowl, salt and pepper, put some 3-4 cloves of finely minced up garlic in here. Well, then take some of the harissa paste and mix the chicken well and let it marinate for at least an hour or maybe 30 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. Hour, longer the better, okay? Because that flavor will really get into the chicken meat. So we're gonna move over here to the stove, and I'm going to cook this chicken, and the lentil beans are cooking as well. So harissa chicken with lentils. Ooh, it's gonna be delicious. So let's go over here to the stove. Okay, I have my saucepan here. I just have some olive oil in there. It's been heating up. Yeah. Put that in the sink. Got my harissa chicken in here and have my lentils over here. Turn that up a little bit, turn it high so we can get the lentils boiling. And I want to add just a little bit more of some freshly ground black pepper in here. Not like it's not hot enough, but I'm not making it really hot. I'm not using the super hot version of the harissa, okay? And it has, it's a smoky kind of chili kind of flavor, very, very layered. It's some interesting flavor profiles in harissa. And again, you can find it in the grocery stores, right? Some of the, not all the grocery stores. They usually sell it in hot, mild. I don't think I've ever seen a medium, but I know there's a hot and a mild harissa. Okay, so if you're looking for something different, just a different flavor profile, I would highly recommend trying the harissa. And you could, it's used a lot in couscous. You know, some couscous dishes are made a lot with harissa or other vegetables. But harissa, clearly, you can use it with meat, right? I'm using it with chicken on this episode of Cooking with Jay. Yep. Da-da-ba. And these lentils. The lentils, once they get boiling, usually about 4, 5, 6 minutes it takes to cook the lentils. And I'm cooking the lentils in chicken broth, okay, just for a little extra added flavor. And you can get creative with your lentils, you know. If you want to put some onions, you know, saute some onions a little bit, and maybe some diced up green pepper or something like that, and some butter, and then add your lentils, and then stir them around a little bit in that butter, onion, green pepper mixture. Then add the broth, 3 cups of broth, and then when it gets boiling, it'll be about 4 to 6 minutes before the lentils absorb all the liquid. And then we're going to combine the lentils with this delicious chicken, right? Let me get a spatula over here. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, that's better. Get under it. And it smells delicious, delicious. The chicken, I guess you cook medium-high heat for about 6, 7 minutes. I get chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, and I dice up the chicken pieces like so, you know, not that big, right? Come on, lentils, boil. Getting there. Cooking with Jay, I was thinking about how long I have been doing this show, which has been now, I think, almost 2 years. We have archive programs of Cooking with Jay. You can see Cooking with Jay at the WHRO Public Media YouTube channel. There are all kind of episodes of Cooking with Jay on the YouTube channel. And the concept for this show, I've talked about this many times. It's the home cook concept, right? I want to make people feel that, like, if I can do this, you certainly can do this. And cooking is a passion of mine. It's been a passion for many, many years. And that seed was planted watching my grandmother cook when I was a little boy. And I used to think, wow, because she was the best home cook I've ever, or one of the best cooks, period. She was born in Florence, South Carolina. And she had those traditional hardcore Southern elements in her cuisine. The chicken and dumplings, the collard greens, the fried chicken, the blackberry cobbler. Oh, the best chicken and dumplings I've ever eaten in my life. And so many of the smothered pork chops and onions and brown gravy. watching her and eating her food made me realize, hey, you know what? You can get that kind of pleasure in the comfort of your own home, just learning how to make these dishes, this food. And I was always an artist. I was a drummer from a little boy, so I loved creating. So cooking just was a natural evolution. You know, I just evolved naturally into cooking because it's creating. Cooking is an art. And so I would learn from friends. I have chef friends. I would study flavors, you know, spices and gear and things like that. And then I got to a point after cooking for, you know, a long period of time that I was started to create my own recipes. I would read a recipe. Finally, the lentils are boiling. Yay! I would read a recipe, make it as it was written, and if I liked the recipe, it's okay, that's pretty good. But I wonder if I can, what would happen if I do this to the recipe? So I would start changing all these recipes around, and then eventually my cooking progressed to a level where I could create my own flavor profiles because that was my ultimate objective. If I was going to cook, I wanted, just like music, I want to have my sound. I want to play Jay Sennett. You know, I want to play my music. I don't want to play standards all the time. You know, great artists find their way of doing it. And it's the same with cooking. I wanted to figure out how to create my dishes with my stamp on them, my flavor profiles. And that's what I've been able to do over the past 10, 15 years or so, cooking. And cooking, in some way, it's to me, for me, it's kind of like when people do crossword puzzles. You know, it's like kind of therapeutic. You know, you relax your brain. Cooking is therapeutic for me. You know, I get transported when I'm cooking. Particularly, you know, if I'm very, very comfortable and confident with what I'm making. If I'm trying something new, a lot of times I'll just get an idea, and I don't know what the finished product is going to be. I just start with a theme ingredient like salmon or swordfish or chicken or shrimp or whatever. And then I'll think about some of the spices I have in the house, and then I'll start just creating these flavor profiles in my head. And I think that's the beauty of cooking. And most of the time, fortunately, I'm successful with it. Other times, not so, right? And someone asked me one time, well, Jay, what if you made a dish on your Cooking with Jay show and then somebody made it and it didn't turn out right, the flavors didn't turn out right, and they made it and they were like, oh. I'm like, well, you know, I don't know if that's ever happened. I think it might have happened. I actually cooked something on the show early on that was something new, and I was like, and I tasted the dish, and it was like, ooh, but you would never know watching me that I didn't like that dish. I was like, oh, okay, that's very different. But, all right, come on, lentils. All right, the chicken, I would say, is just about done. Just a couple more minutes here. My Harissa chicken with lentils. I'll put this down for a minute. Let's see how these lentils are doing. Okay. Yep. Just about. Da-da-da. All right, now what I'm going to do, I think my chicken is just about ready. I'll give it maybe another minute. I think we're ready to try a little piece of this chicken. Get some of that sauce. There's really no heat. It's a mild heat, but the flavor is so good. It's a delicious flavor, delicious seasoning, Harissa seasoning. Okay, so, whoops, almost double dip. Can't do that. All right, so the chicken is done. Turn that off. I think my lentils are done. They only cook for about 4 to 6 minutes, and they have. Okay, so we are going to get the bowl. Black, brown, and green lentils. Now, do you have to use that? No, that combination, absolutely not. All right. So now I'll add some of the chicken. Get some of the sauce. Make sure I get some of that sauce. All right. Then I'm going to mix this up. Ooh, man, yeah. Okay. And we're going to go over here. We're going to get some garnish, and we're going to go over here to the island, and I'm going to show you my Harissa chicken with lentils. Okay. All right, I added some garnish, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of lemon over here. This is Harissa with lentils, black lentils, brown lentils, and green lentils. Okay, that's my dish for this edition of Cooking with Jay. And it's very easy to make. You can find Harissa seasoning in the grocery store. They have it in hot or mild. This is the mild version. I get chicken breast, dice up the chicken breast, season it with some salt and pepper, put it in a bowl, get about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, finely mince up the garlic, put the garlic in with the chicken, mix it around, then add some of that Harissa paste into the chicken. Mix well with the chicken pieces, let it chill in a refrigerator, marinate for about an hour. Then I use some olive oil in a saucepan, just heat up the olive oil, cook the chicken for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then the lentil beans, I use a cup of lentil beans, 3 cups of chicken broth, and cook for about 4 to 6 minutes, and put the lentils in the bowl, put the chicken over the lentils, mix it in with the lentils. You have Harissa chicken with lentils. And I garnished it with some parsley, and you can add a little bit of lemon juice on top of that as well. So that's what's happening on this edition of Cooking with Jay. Harissa chicken with lentils. Hope you enjoyed that. Maybe it sparked some intrigue. Maybe you might want to try, particularly if you like lentils. And if you've never had Harissa paste, you might want to try that. Again, Harissa can work well in couscous or other grains like that, quinoa, but it works well with meats as well. Okay. Thank you for watching Cooking with Jay Sunday nights at 6 at the WHRO Public Media Facebook page. And if you can't watch at 6, you can. If you watch it at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, just scroll down the page until you find the show. Don't forget, Send It in Session, my jazz show, heard on WHRO VFM 89.5 Monday through Thursday nights, 9 to 1, Saturday mornings 1 until 5, and Sunday afternoons from 1 until 5. Great jazz, great variety of jazz on Send It in Session. Great food, great jazz. They parallel each other. That's the fun of it, okay? Until next Sunday, the next episode of Cooking with Jay. Be safe, friends, and we'll see you soon.
Hi everyone, Jay Sennett here. Cooking with Jay is now even more jazzy in my new home with my chef's kitchen. I'd love for you to check it out. Join me Sunday evenings at 6 on Facebook at WHRO Public Media. Let's get cooking.